Hi, I'm Mitch.
And I'm Taybor.
And this is
Spill the Beans.
Whoop whoop.
Like whoop whoop? What's the whoop whoop? Like what's the news? What's the word?
No. I'll help. She lives out in Whoop Whoop.
Oh, out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Okay. That's okay. That's a new one.
Fair dinkum, mate.
Fair dinkum. How's it going? And you're like, fair dinkum. Like it's going pretty well.
Nah, it would be more like you'd be like, this is a good game. And I go, fair dinkum.
These are outrageous. I don't know if the Midwest ones are going to be as good as these are. Fair dinkum. You know I'm going to say that every game now, right? Okay, that one got me. Oh, it's a good game? Or like a good match? Or like a good time?
Nah, it means like
Wait.
Truth. Like,
Oh.
if you say
fair
something
dinkum.
and I agree.
Oh, okay. Oh, like when you say oath.
Yeah.
Big oath.
No walkers.
No walkers. Yeah, like
Yeah, no walkers.
no duh, dummy, idiot.
No worries.
No worries. Okay. No duckas. That's
No
definitely.
walkas.
Oh, no wakas. No duckas. No wakas. That's what you say on the beach, right?
I think that's more of a shucker.
Okay. Do you know what I'm doing? If I go like this?
Stop.
No. So like, if you live in Michigan and I tell you like where I live, because Michigan's shaped like an oven mitt, like a hand, you just point to where it is. So like if you're in Detroit, you're like right here, right? Yeah. And then like the west side of the state, you're like, oh, I live in Grand Rapids.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, Jeet?
Heard that.
Jeet?
Jeet. Like fast? Or
No.
like Jeet?
It's a question. Jeet? When you
Swear
come
I've
over to
heard
my
JoJo
house.
say that.
Oh, that's jit. It's like a little kid.
Okay. No, I don't
This is like you come over to my house, I'm like, Jeet?
Is that you asking me a question?
Yeah.
Okay. Like, do you want to?
Want to what?
I'm saying this Jeet mean like, come over to my house?
Means did you
want it?
eat? Jeet?
Oh.
It's pretty like
Okay.
Midwestern. You gotta be like in the Midwest for a while to start talking like that. Oh yeah, you know what a coney dog is?
No.
Like specifically, so they have like Chicago dogs. Have you seen one of those before?
Just a hot dog?
Kind of, but it's all like the fixins on top. So a coney dog is like chili, shredded cheese, and like, do you eat it with raw onions? Raw onions? Yeah, raw onions on top. That's a coney dog.
I'll give it a
We gotta
miss.
get you to Detroit next time. We'll get him a coney dog. This is one thing that he and I have talked about a lot is that before you have a kid, you think like, oh, I have no time to like go on a vacation or go grab a bite to eat by yourself for like 45 minutes. When you have a kid, all that goes out there. Like you realize how much free time you actually had before then. And then he
How
just
little
had,
you got now.
yeah, and then he just had a second kid.
Yeah. It seems like you have one kid and you're like, wow, I had so much time before. And then you have two kids and you're like, I had so much time with one kid. So yeah.
Just keeps dwindling.
How do you balance that?
I mean, I don't think I get alone time at football. Maddie doesn't get much alone time. So that's probably a Maddie question. My wife is amazing and does so much for our family. So she helps, and it's more like come home, play with the kids, sort of get that family time. Kids go to bed, or win somewhat, might fall asleep if we're lucky, and then me and Maddie get some time. Yeah.
I spend the majority, so like my family, they live in Michigan part of the season and then they come back and forth here. So it's kind of a balancing act in a sense. But when I'm out there back in Michigan for the off season, I always make sure to like, I didn't realize how much my wife can sleep in until I get back in the off season, because that first like 2 weeks that I'm back home after the season's over, I might not see her until like 11 a.m. in the morning because she is just catching up on all the sleep that she missed while I was away during the season. And she's pregnant right now, so even doubly so. She's definitely catching up on sleep, but making sure she has plenty of rest through the night and in the mornings. And then whenever we're kind of caught back up on that time, I'll be sure to, do an outing with Rue, go to the park so she can get alone time, whether she wants to run errands by herself or even go out to lunch by herself. The alone time for like both of us is like super important. Trying to figure out who they are, like from when they start interacting with you at like 6, 7, 8 months, when you can like start making them laugh, like seeing how they interact with the world. And then my daughter's like 2.5 right now, and just seeing her react to all the things that could possibly happen to her is just, it's amazing to watch. So like just watching them experience life is insane.
Yeah, I mean, having kids changes your whole life. You're no longer the most important person in your life. So you sort of pour everything into them, and like their happiness is your happiness. So like, even if it's something as simple as like going to the park and she's running around with ducks or something, like going to the park for me before would just be like, oh, can I go home? But now like her happiness is like sort of your happiness. So yeah, being able to play with them, see my kids grow, and yeah, it's really cool.
Snacks. And not just for her. For myself, for my wife, everybody involved.
I don't keep them in my pocket, but they're just scattered around the house conveniently, but baby wipes. Yeah. They're good for everything, not just kid-related stuff.
I used to just ask for like disinfectant wipes, but now it's just like whatever, a diaper wipe will do. Be super attentive to your wife after they give birth, because not a lot of people talk about how crazy postpartum can be, and it's wild what they go through during the pregnancy, and then nobody thinks about the stuff after the fact, but that's almost as drastic, if not more drastic, of a change of their body.
Your relationship with your wife is the most important thing for the kids as well. So I think keeping things, with your wife and making sure she's good and always having that sort of romance is a big thing.
I'm getting serious. Spill the beans.
We'll get past
No, it's all good. I think it's a good message. I've been doing this since before I was a dad, but if my wife's like, I'm tired, I'll be like, hi, tired, I'm dad. Or, hi, tired, I'm Taybor.
Yeah, that's a good one, but I ain't got nothing.
It's just boom, boom, boom. It's too simple.
Nothing that comes to mind. I've done both, but I'm definitely mullet. Yeah.
I've yet to see pictures of Mitch with his man bun. I would like to see those someday. If you could go back to Facebook or MySpace or whenever you had one.
Yeah, they're on there.
Okay, I need to see that. I'm a little biased. I go for the man bun. I don't think I could rock the mullet very well. I think Jake is trying to grow one. And it's getting to the point now where he like gets a little sweaty from practice, and it's getting like little beads of sweat on it. It's so gross.
It looks great.
Yeah, no.
Looks great, yeah.
Chris Connolly. He's extremely responsible and dependable.
I was just thinking who's responsible when Chris popped into my head. Yeah, Chris, Brock maybe.
Brock for sure.
Brock cares, he'd show up.
Sadly, because of football, I've gotten used to like a lot of Thanksgivings kind of riding solo. So, I've gotten used to ordering big Thanksgiving meals just to have to myself. Last year, I got a big one from Whole Foods, a huge order. It lasted me like all week. But in general, I think just like loading up every single cooking utensil you have in the house, ready to go. When the day comes that I finally retire from football, the house that we have, we weren't looking for it, but it has 2 ovens and I have a smoker. So like I'm waiting for the day where I can load up both the ovens, the smoker, and just have everything rocking.
Well, I actually don't really like any Thanksgiving food. So not the biggest fan. I like the message. But yeah, if I'm normally playing football or something, my favorite holiday is probably the 4th of July. I love summer, getting outside, like it's more of like a hang out at the beach sort of day.
It's very American for an Australian. I like that.
I'm getting there.
I like that. Probably the first one I ever went to was a My dad took me and my best friend in 9th grade on Thanksgiving Day to Oklahoma City to see the Misfits.
Is that when you got in that bust up with your dad?
Yeah, it was the first fight I ever got in. These guys were like going around hitting people in the crowd, and my dad kind of like told them to stop, and so a fight started. So it's just a great memory overall. It was like my dad's like
bonding.
Oh yeah, it was like the band my dad grew up with. We got in the first fight, and it was with my dad, and we beat these guys up. So I was like, we didn't tell my mom until I was like in college.
Mine's not as cool as that. I think it was Luke Combs like a few months ago.
There
that
we go.
Cool.
Game-winning field goal in Green Bay. As far as like football, like triumphant moments, that was pretty sweet.
I think mine was probably, even though we lost this like week in the Super Bowl last season. Do you mean positions on the field or like their life? Positions on the field?
Well, if I had his ability,
yeah.
Yeah, Nick for sure.
Oh, okay. If you have their ability, maybe Brock. Otherwise, if I have my ability, probably Jake's my next best bet. Mine's a weird one. I think it's the message that sort of stuck with me. It's like an Indian movie called 3 Idiots. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to check that out.
And then other than that, it's all just generic like action movies. Maybe The Equalizer or like Man on Fire or something.
There's so many like, I don't have like one solid one. There's so many different like best bad movie that I like, you know what I mean? But I'd say overall, one that I will like never shut off is Kill Bill, the first one.
Mine's an Australian artist called Missy Higgins, a song called Steer. Just loved it for forever.
I've gone through so many iterations of like my pregame routine. Back in college, I used to like listen to like really loud, like pump up music. Now I just listen to like whatever normal podcast I listen to during the week, just because I don't want to like get too hype or anything. So it varies quite a bit. Did you watch Batman vs Superman? Have you seen that one?
I've sort of seen it.
He held his own against Superman, I would say. So I'd have to go Batman against Spider-Man, right?
I don't know, but the Batman doesn't make sense to me, so I'm going to go Spider-Man.
He's rich. You can do anything when you're rich. If you want to be a superhero, be a superhero. Tony Stark did it too. Yeah, I believe there's something extra going on.
Yeah, I'll say that.
Yeah.
Maybe not necessarily a ghost, but there's got to be something.
This is such an interesting question.
Nothing to do with the city, but I'll go Vegas. Just my favorite stadium to play in.
Yeah. It's a really good stadium to play in. And then I would say Seattle. We've been playing so many night games there that where our hotel is located, there's like this really nice area that you can walk. It's like 10, 15-minute walk to this really cool coffee shop that I've made it a frequent trip every time we go out there. Just so many night games. Yeah, probably Seattle for the area and then Vegas for the stadium. Ooh. The food and the variety of food, because of the variety of culture in the area, is so amazing. I find that I crave it every time I go back to Michigan for the off season. Like I can't wait when the time comes that I have to come back. I can't wait to like hit up all my favorite food spots. There's a time last year I was like laying in bed after practice one day and I was like, there's nothing to eat. And I was like, wake up. You live in the Bay Area. There's always something to eat here.
I don't know if Carmel counts as the Bay Area, but I went there this off season and that's incredible. Other than that, we don't really get out much. So our neighbours are great. So like the people, the weather's good. Yeah. I've been making this like, it's so simple. You just like brown butter, freeze it and put chocolate on top. And that's just been like my dessert for the last like month. So I'll say that.
I need to try that. My thing that I've been making for almost 2 weeks straight for dinner every night is sushi rice in a rice cooker. And then there's a Japanese market in San Jose that I get like really good Wagyu beef from. Avocado, kimchi, the beef, and the sushi rice is just so good. It puts me right to sleep too. Yeah. He's gonna say Wolverines just to make me mad.
The Wolverines in Michigan, right?
Yeah.
Nah, let's go Spartans.
Let's go. He likes 300. Yeah.
Michigan just seems a little...
Pretentious?
Yeah.
Yeah. I have to be careful what I say, though, because I live like 10 minutes from campus, from Ann Arbor, so I love the city of Ann Arbor, but U of M.
He's going to say himself, which is a lie.
Got the heat this season. This season is going to be mind-blowing.
I'm always there late, so I don't see most of the guys. But from what I've seen, Trent Williams always looks pretty well done up.
There's a lot of guys who dress really well on the team. I think some guys, and I'm guilty of it too, maybe get a little too experimental. But like he said, Trent, he's been in the league a long time. He knows his style. So, I mean, his game day fits go hard every single week.
What can we expect this season?
Oh, crazy. Japanese denim. We're thinking like boxy, baggy, lots of clean lines.
Board games.
Video games.
I'll go the fancy restaurant.
Fancy restaurant.
I home cook all the time, but I'll take a fancy meal here and there. Cold.
Ice cold.
Both.
Yeah.
Pancakes.
I'm a pancake guy. Iced.
Hot. Unless it's bad coffee, and then you can mask the badness if you make it cold.
This is a Michigan question because a Detroit style pizza round. You've never had Detroit style, have you?
No. So, I don't know, whatever tastes better, I guess. Probably round. I like thin crust, whatever that means.
Yeah.
Out of us two?
Yeah.
Me. Duh. What?
I ain't got any well, I have experience from like 15 years ago.
He
20
knows
years
like
ago.
the main,
Yeah.
the first set of guys.
I used
so.
to train some Pokemon, but I'm
Back
out
in
of
the day.
I'm out of training. Oh, I don't know. I got nothing.
Eccentric.
Let's say, I'll just say dad. Morning.
I'm getting older because I would have for sure said night, but as I get older, the morning, there's something to be said about being up before a lot of other people. Yeah.
Sure.